To start with, today I'm joined by Rohan Ricketts and delighted to welcome for the first time back home, back to where it all began, back home in Canada, IAIN HUME. 21 years from England to India to Spain, back to India again. Hume, welcome back home. Are you here for good? What's happening?
Well, that's the plan. Family's moved over. We've just finished our quarantine. We're waiting to get the keys to a house, which we've had bids accepted for. So we're trying to settle in. Kids are ready for school, and we're back over here for, like you said, 21 years. Next week it would have been. Yeah, 21 years, and obviously you've travelled numerous clubs, a really good career course. You made international headlines once upon a time with that awful skull fracture, but you always bounced back. You always put great pride on putting that Canadian shirt on as well. Do you feel Canadian now, or are you a little bit English? What are you? Because I mean, I've been here for 30 years now. I don't know what I am. I've always been Canadian. Born in Scotland, yes, but even though I spent most of my life in England, I'm Canadian, and that, I think I always prove that whenever I pulled the shirt on, like you said, and even when anywhere in the world where I've been, where are you from? I'm Canadian. That's it, and that's all I ever have been, and that's all I ever feel.
I'm going to ask you, playing football in India, Ricky played there, of course, at Dempo as well. What is the football culture like in India?
I'll let you start, Hume.
This could go on for a while.
Madness.
Yeah.
That's it.
Everyone thinks about India, they think cricket, but you've been to the wrong places. You go to the southern states, or you go to your coastal states with Goa, Kerala, you go around to Kolkata on the east coast. They're insane. People don't quite understand, and I was explaining to you before, they've got this, I think it's the second oldest football rivalry in world football with the Kolkata Derby, Mohammedan East Bengal. Oof. And they get 120,000 every game.
Packed.
And
wow.
People don't know about it.
Wow. Ricky, I mean, you played there, of course, like I mentioned. You played in many countries around the world. Where would you put India as far as that feverish football culture?
It would be right up there. South America's crazy, obviously England. But I would say that in India, it's even much crazier than here in North America, by far. Like, and now that they've got a bit more of a better infrastructure, and they've brought in players for the ISL where Hume played, that's where things have really kind of got the adulation from outside. But I still think they need a lot more exposure, because there's good players there. Mm-hmm. There's some good Indian players there, but they just need the exposure.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you need that breakthrough player to perhaps move from India to a big European league, even MLS, to really get that next step?
Yeah, and they've got one of the most unknown world powers in a single player, in Sunil Chetri. People don't know about him. I think he's the active international third highest goal scorer in the world. I think he's scored 75, 80 goals for India, and people don't know about him. Mm-hmm. He tried to come over, but like you said, they had one player, a goalkeeper, played in the Europa League, and it was huge in India. He played for Stybak in Norway, the goalkeeper. But they've got a couple young gems who I think, and having played with them and worked with them, I think they've got the opportunity. But in the future, especially after hosting the Under-17 World Cup, a few people are getting noticed, and they're realizing that this is an unearthed gem. And I think if they get the clubs and from Europe, from around the world, coming in to watch them and getting involved in partnerships and that, I think there will be, in the next, I'd say 5-10 years, you'll probably see a good few Indian players playing in Europe.
Wow. What was your take on the style? Like, how did it affect your style? Because I remember when I went there as playing as a central midfield player who wants to get on the ball and pass, and even though there's some talent there, the culture, the footballing culture, they're not as quick as how it is in England. How did that affect your style? It's
got better. Like, honestly, from the first ISL that I went out there to now, it's a million miles apart. Because they've brought in the foreign coaches, mainly Spanish, English, German. They've brought in coaches who are going to change the style of play out there. And the only thing that they were really lacking over the last couple of years was the tactics side of things. Physically, they're as good as anybody. Technically, as good as anybody. Tactically, they struggle a bit.